In this tutorial, you're going to learn how to set up your Auphonic account and to use it to create finished podcasts to be pasted on iTunes, your website, or Sparkit Network. The first thing that you're going to do is sign up for an account. You're going to create a username, an email, and a password, and then submit it. Now, if you already have an account, then you would just click to log in. Once you've logged in, it will take you to your dashboard, and the first thing that we're going to set up are your services. Services are those entities that are connected to your Auphonic account. You want to make sure to set up your Dropbox or Google Drive account, and you do that by clicking on the button. It will integrate with that account and you will be set to go. Or you can do the same thing with your Google Drive. The reason why you need to set these up is that these are where you are going to store all of your MP3s that you have saved from your recordings. And so you need somewhere to save them, and either an online, it has to be an online entity, so Dropbox or a Google Drive. Secondarily, you're going to want to set up either your Amazon S3 or your Libsyn account. Now, this is the place where after you have finished putting together your shows, that means recorded a show, added your bumpers, we'll talk a little bit about that in just a second, added your bumpers, intros and outros, and you've saved the production, it will go right up to Libsyn or right up to Amazon S3 as a place to be hosted. It removes one step. If you're not going to do any other editing, you can create your product right within Auphonic and have it go straight to Libsyn. To set up either one of those, you would click the button and you would put in your information on your that's available through your Libsyn account. Your show slug, you will put your username and password so that Auphonic can log in and then post your show. Or you could go to Amazon S3, either one, you don't need both, and you can enter all the account information for that as well. Once we have set up the external services, then the next step is to click on presets. And when you click on presets, you click on new preset, it will open up a new page, and I'll just show you one that I've already started to set up. And you walk your way through from the top all the way to the bottom. So you want to give your name or the name of your show or something to identify what this preset is. Let me clarify that you can have multiple presets. So if you are doing 2 different shows, you might want to have a preset for each one of those shows. So in this case, I have created a preset for the Passion Point. I have selected, going into my Dropbox, the intro music that I want to use, and I have gone into my Dropbox and selected the outro music. These are called bumpers. The next thing that I've done is I have given, and this is the basic metadata, and metadata is really what Google uses to find you, so this is very important to make sure that you fill some of these things out. The title's really important, so you put the Passion Point, and then I chose a file from my computer and brought up a little graphic. You don't have to do that, but again, I try to do as much as I can before I actually use the system. In this case, I'm the artist, but maybe it's somebody else. You can also put a subtitle in here. You can identify what the genre is, and in my case, let's say this is more of a entrepreneurial. I'm not a very good speller, so let's just fix that right now. Alrighty, and this is the year of 2015. Now, what I might do is select, use this for all of my 2015 shows and then create another preset for the 2016 shows. You can go ahead and put a summary or description in here, or you can leave it blank. Again, do as much as you want to do before you start using this so that you are quickly going to be able to use the system once you have your shows going. I then went into the tags, and tags are important because, again, that's what Google looks for. So I put my name, Caren Glasser, I put the name of the show, the Passion Point, and I put entrepreneurs because I know that entrepreneurs are always the people that I interview. You can always add to this when you are creating one-ups. Next off, you have the output files. Just leave it the way it is, MP3, 112 kbps, and everything else should be okay. Then you click on the publishing external services. So you go into your service. Now, I don't have a Libsyn account set up here because I do go and edit my shows afterwards, but if you had already set up your service, then Libsyn would be here and you would select that. And you can always add a service right in here. And then finally you leave everything else that is just like here, and then you're going to save the preset. And it will give you all of your presets in a list of presets. So once this thing has saved, which it is still saving, you're going to notice I have the Passion Point and I have another preset for another show. Now it's time to actually put in my recorded interview, my recorded podcast, to create now the full product. So I click on the button that says Productions, and then I'm going to click on New Production. And the first thing that I'm going to do is set the preset. We already set that up, so now I'm going to auto-populate. As you see, it's automatically putting in the fields that we need. The next thing that I'm going to do is go find the file that is my actual interview. And again, you want to make sure that you leave it somewhere that you can find it. And sometimes that's, sometimes you don't always know where that is. So I'm going to encourage you to remember where you put your stuff so that it can be found. In the meantime, I'm going to go find, now if you can't find it, the easiest way to do is to type in MP3 into your search, and you will find all the things that have an MP3 attached to it, and that means it's music. As you see, we have here all these music files, and so I'm just going to go ahead and click a song to go in there. So now I have my file uploaded. That's my show. It could be your interview, your podcast, whatever it is. My intro is already there. My outro is already there. The name, the Passion Point is there. And in this case, if I was interviewing somebody, I might want to say Caren Glasser and guest, whoever that guest is. I would put their name. And then you might want to update your summary. You might want to update your tags. And I don't have the name of a guest there, so I'm just going to say guest for argument's sake right now. That is not a good tag word, just so you know, but it would be the name of somebody. And then you already have it selected as to where it's going to go because you preset this up, and when you're done with that, that's all you have to do. So basically all you did was add the preset, you added the file that you wanted, the MP3 that you wanted to be as your show, everything else was there, and then you push the button, Start Production. In Auphonic, you have 2 hours, complimentary, free 2 hours of time each month, and then it repopulates. So if you're going to use more than 2 hours, then you can add an extra hour, and you can do it as you're doing it. And it's not expensive at all. It's just a few dollars. And then finally, you click the button Start Production, and you just watch it do what it's going to do. And once it's done, and you're going to see, first it's telling me to leave my browser open. It's uploading the media file. That's the interview that I put in there. In this case, I put a song. And then you're going to see, once it is uploaded it all, it will tell you that it's importing and then it's exporting. Importing means, well, let's look at this as it comes now. It's now waiting. It literally tells you where it's at. So you don't have you don't have to worry that maybe it stopped in between. It says it's incoming a file transfer right now. You can always stop in the middle. It's audio processing. If you change your mind, as I said, you could stop production, but there's no need to do that. So it's processing right now. The next step is about to show up. It takes a few minutes. And once the whole thing is done, it's going to provide you with a link to your show. And once you have that link to the show, you're able to take that link and place it on your website, in a blog, in almost anything. You can connect it to your iTunes accounts. But in terms of what we do here, you would take that link and you would go over to Sparkit Network, and you would, in the place where it says Add Audio Link, you would take that link and you would place it onto that form. Okay, so here we go. It is now there, and all you would have to do is, if you wanted to listen to it, you could listen to it now. But other than that, you could take this link and you could post it somewhere else. And that is how you use Auphonic.